Welcome into the PHNX Coyotes postgame show, brought to you by the one and only Draftkings Sportsbook app, America's top-rated sportsbook app. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah Merrill here with Steve Peters, and the Phoenix Suns beat the New Orleans Pelicans 114 to 111.
That's what we're going to go with today.
Why can't we just do the postgame show for the Suns? I know the Suns are at the Ainsworth,
so we're going to do it here.
We're holding it down in the studio.
114, 111.
All we were assigned to do today is the postgame show.
Yep.
Were they ever specific about which one?
2-1 lead.
No.
In the series.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, that's not how it's going to go for us tonight.
We're talking about a different game.
It wasn't so bad.
You know, that's a bad show, Leah, when it's not. You know what? Wasn't so bad. That's not. The bar is set extremely low. If you're saying it wasn't so bad, and it wasn't so bad,
but
you're right.
The bar,
you're right.
The bar is on the floor for this Coyotes team in this last stretch. This was their 9th straight loss, but this loss and the loss the other day didn't hurt as much as those other losses were, in my opinion.
Yeah, there were so many things better than what we've seen over the last 8 losses, and it started to come in a little last game with some offense. Unfortunately, they couldn't find the offense today, but they had more offensive chances tonight than I thought that they've had over the last week. I thought McBain on his own had more chances.
McBain looked amazing.
He was great.
Tonight.
He was great tonight, and it really gives you the show.
He hit the post,
and the season is about hope.
Yeah,
and there's hope, and you can skates well. Big guy gets to the net. Great, sign him up. Here we go. Got 2 or 3 years to wait for him to really break out and this to be exciting. But it's good to see players like that. And Nathan Smith, wow, kid can skate. Kid can fly. I think he's going to be a big piece to this too. We're talking about all the different pieces he needs to have a successful team, and I think there's 2 really good pieces right there. So I'm going to try to be positive today, even though that they've lost 9 straight. I thought Veggie was better today. I thought he had some really big saves. That one with his toe on Kuznetsov, I still not quite sure how he did it, but good on him.
Yeah, that could have been really bad. And
it's the best game he's played in a month.
Yeah, and even saying that, he had that moment, we were talking about it here, where the puck went to his right, and instead of just turning to his right, he turned 360.
Yeah.
It's like 4 rights make a left. Yeah. Like, that's what Veggie did the net.
It was awkward.
So, yes, it was. So it was his best game in a month. But is that saying much? But Ian had said earlier in the comments, we can't forget, Veggie got a .964 save percentage tonight, which, given Veggie's numbers in the past stretch, and especially in the stretch of this losing streak, have not been great. Yep. So we'll take that from him tonight.
And we said hopefully his confidence increased from the last one, and it did, and he looked better.
And one of the goals was an empty. Yeah, it was a 2-0 loss, but one of the goals was an empty net goal.
One.
Yeah.
And then tomorrow night they're going with Suttery, so he gets a little bit of a rest. So that's good. You want Veggie to go into the summer with some confidence, feeling good about his game, finding his game. Hey, we all agree we're not going to get wins. Like, the wins aren't going to be there. So let's build and gain confidence just by the performance in your play and your effort. And I thought Veggie had that tonight. I thought he had a great improvement over what he's been over the last few weeks. And you go, okay, there's something to build on. So now his next start, it's going to get another start in this back-to-back with Dallas, Minnesota. 2 tough teams that both need to win. Let's see how he can do on the road. And he's always been better on the road. So I think that was one of the positives that you can take from tonight. We talked about McBain. That's another one of the positives. And the one that I harp on the most, I've got a scratchy throat tonight. It's driving me absolutely insane.
You're like, this is positive. I have a scratchy throat.
It started like 5 minutes before we went on air. It was fine all night. Totally fine.
Drink your not Pellegrino.
I know.
Your Perrier.
So
I would be disgusted.
The one thing I complain about more than anything on this show for the entire season has been their defending. Horrific defending at times. I thought today was actually pretty good. Much, much better. You didn't see the opportunities. The Capitals did not have several opportunities in front of the net front. They didn't have those huge odd man rushes. I thought they limited the scoring chances of the Washington Capitals, and that's a high-powered offense. So, check mark on the defensive side. I thought they did better. So, another thing we can look to as a positive. So, there's a few.
Wow, I'm very impressed
Not
right
bad.
now by you. Well, let's look at tonight by the numbers, and we can see what we can take away from that. in terms of shots, not just from the Coyotes, 19 shots on goal, we've seen less from them. So not anything major. Only 29 shots on goals by the Capitals, and this is a team that has Alex Ovechkin, like, who just scored his 50th goal of the season the other night. So for them to only get 29 shots on goal and then 0 for 4 on the power play, which, again, Ovechkin, and that was one of your keys, which we'll get to a little later. Granted, Washington has their 18th best power play in the NHL, so it's kind of in the middle of the pack, but still. Another interesting note here is that the Coyotes had no power plays this entire game. So all of their scoring chances had to come from 5-on-5. So they didn't have the chances to score. So on the positive, if we're going to just be in positive mode here, they didn't allow Washington to score on the power play. And they weren't given a power play opportunity, so, maybe they could have done something with that.
Yeah, and you look at, we talked about their power play. With Ovechkin alone on the power play, like, he leads the league in power play time on ice. He's got 16 power play goals on the season. He's a threat every time he gets on the ice. And to shut him down for 4 consecutive power plays, and really had one good look. Like, he didn't have his regular night of 5 or 6 shots from his little spot on the top of the circle. But their penalty killing was much better today. There's so many little things. I will say this. If you look at the Washington Capitals schedule, this was the last game of a 5-game road trip that started not in Vegas, not even in LA. Do you know where this road trip started? It started in Toronto.
Oh, geez.
So you go from Toronto to Montreal to Colorado to Vegas.
Toronto,
to Montreal
to Colorado to Vegas
to here. So this is the last game of a 5-game trip to cross the border, literally from coast to coast. Literally.
I flew back from Toronto 2 days
And
ago,
you were tired.
and today is the first day I feel back to normal.
This isn't the Washington Capital team that you'll see a week from now getting ready for playoffs. They're a better team than this.
Yeah.
I don't think they came with their A game today. They did look tired.
And they didn't necessarily need to, because this isn't a stacked... I mean, the Coyotes team in general isn't great, but this version of this Coyotes team isn't the best one we've seen all season. So they didn't really.
Yeah, this is a high-powered offense that didn't show that they were high-powered.
And that's why this game we were like, it's close, but it's.
Did it seem kind of? Yeah, it was maybe, I don't want to say boring is not the right word, but it wasn't. It wasn't that high-paced game I was anticipating.
It wasn't like a close, like, oh my gosh, edge of my seat.
Yeah.
Because even when a team, they're down and out, like, you can still have those edge of your seat moments, I think. So, but yeah, people are very impressed by the penalty kill. So let's actually look at your keys, because they had a common theme.
They did.
And I know
maybe it's just frustration this late in the year, because kind of taking a little tongue in cheek.
Your theme, your keys had themes this week.
But this one it's all about the 8s. They had an 8-game losing streak with Ovechkin, number 8, had 8 goals in 8 games. I thought, okay, that's the key. The key is shutting down Ovechkin. And they did that. So win the defensive zone faceoffs. And you saw that 30 seconds into the game, the first faceoff of the game in the defensive zone, right to Ovi, one-timer, just shoots it wide. I mean, that was it. I go, oh, shit, that's what we just talked about. Didn't happen the rest of the night. So that's fantastic. Penalties, they got 4 of them, but they didn't get many opportunities. I thought they killed exceptionally well and stopped the grade 8, and they did. So, yay.
And I think, given how it's been going, a 2-0 loss to the Washington Capitals, that's a win.
And really, when you say 2-0, it's really 1-0.
Yeah, because it was only.
So we're gonna call it a 1-0, which is actually a win. So the Coyotes won tonight.
Wow, look at how you twisted that.
Doesn't that math work like that?
Quick stat for you: since they went 3 for 4, or since they gave up 3 goals on 4 attempts on the power play against the Canucks, they have kept their opponents 0-12 on the power play.
Look at that.
So they have not given up a power play goal since they went 3 for 4 against the Canucks.
Thank you, Sean.
Wow.
Sean with the stats. And it just goes to show, and we talk about what are the things that they can improve upon as the year goes on. And that must have been one thing that they worked on in practice and really tightened up.
Yeah, and you look at it. So 4 tonight, 5 against Chicago. That's 9 attempts in the last 2 games on the penalty kill, and gave up nothing. That's fantastic. You said good. I mean, again, it's hard, and I know I usually bring all the positive glass half full stuff. That's just who I am. But okay, no, it's not. But you look for little victories. You look for little wins in a season like this, where they've still solidly hung on to last place. You look for little wins, and that's a little win. And the other little win for me tonight, I've already mentioned him once, but I'm going to do it again, was Jack McBain. He was a factor today. He was a force. He had the one off the post. I thought there were 2 or 3 really good scoring opportunities for Jack McBain on his own. He was, in my opinion, he was the best Coyote tonight.
Yeah.
Now we'll get to who's the king of the game in a minute, but he was the best player.
Yeah, I agree. He looked really good, and I think it's just, you said, I think Smith and McBain are going to get their first goals, and Smith got his the other night, and the one that hit the post.
Oh,
and then
had the goalie
almost
beat.
right after that, he had another amazing
Then he had the
chance.
wraparound.
And I literally reached over like this to Sean because I thought it was going to happen, but I think he's going to get it in this last, what is it? Is it only 4 games left? Yeah.
4, yeah. It's St. Louis,
God.
Dallas, Minnesota, Nashville.
Wow.
2 home, 2 roads. Oh, there it is.
The upcoming schedule graphic. We got it.
Sean, you're so good.
I think he'll get one.
Yeah, I do. I goals. I don't know this. Tomorrow night's game scares me. Like St. Louis beat the Coyotes 5-1 in St. Louis a few weeks ago.
St. Louis is 9-0-1 in their last 10, and they are the hottest goal scoring team in the league. Their goal differential is +70.
They had 12 straight games of 4 or more goals in it. Their last 2, they have 2 and 3. Prior to that, 12 straight with 4 or more. This team can score. The Coyotes maybe not so much.
But we're not asking them to. We're just saying that McBain needs to score his.
Yeah, yes, and I still think he will. I think it comes in Dallas.
Okay.
I think
you
he's
heard
going to
it
get a
here
goal
first.
in Dallas.
Write down the time code, everyone.
And I actually, you know what?
Oh, are you going to double down?
I might double down and think that game might actually be pretty close. I'm not going to go say a Coyote win quite yet in Dallas.
It'll be wedgie versus veggie?
Wedgie versus veggie, and it's a game that Dallas desperately needs to win. Has to win. Not quite must win. They play Vegas head-to-head, Dallas does, to get into the playoffs. That's a must win. They have to beat the Coyotes. They might not.
I'm going to go full stat guy again because Karen asked the last time if the Yotes held someone less than 30 shots. It was the Canucks game where they ended up giving up 3 power play goals. They held them to 27 shots.
Look at stat guy shot.
But they gave up 7 goals on those 27 shots. So,
So this was an improvement. Look at all these improvements.
But it started with the goaltending and with the defense. And I thought those 2 things were better than the last few games. And if they give up 30 or fewer, you better give up 7 or less, right? So good on them. It was it's a 1-goal game for me. It's a 1-goal game. Things were better. They need to be better because their next 4 opponents are really, really good.
Yeah.
And I think the Dallas game we'll see. We'll see who's all healthy in Dallas. I would think that would be the game. That's the first one of the back-to-backs, the Dallas game. I would think that would be the one that you would see Veggie go in the first game of back-to-back.
Because he hasn't been great on the second games of back-to-backs.
So Veggie, that could be interesting.
Definitely.
We'll see.
I want to go back to your keys about Ovechkin because this is us speaking of on the subject of stats and Ovechkin and your keys. So Craig had tweeted this out. This was really interesting. Ovechkin only has 9 career goals versus the Coyotes.
9 career?
This is somebody who is
career
chasing
9.
Actually, we have the NHL record. So this is the NHL record for most goals. So Wayne Gretzky, obviously number 1. 894 on this tiny monitor. Is that what that says, Sean?
894,
Gretzky.
801.
801, Gordie Howe.
Yeah.
Ovechkin, 780. And of those 780...
Only 9?
9! 9! And Craig said in his tweet, like, obviously the number of games is a factor, Washington.
Yeah, they didn't play all the time, yeah.
But other 2 teams in which he has single-digit goals are expansion teams Vegas and Seattle. 5 against Vegas, 2 against Seattle.
And Seattle's been here a year.
And you know what's crazy, too? The best NHL goal of all time was scored against the Coyotes by Ovechkin.
In Gila River.
Like, it's just...
I would have never believed that stat.
Isn't that unbelievable?
9 career goals.
Unbelievable. So
that's amazing.
So there's a little stat. So
who knew?
They successfully stopped.
I wouldn't. Somebody should have told me that before I wrote the keys to the game. I might not have written those keys to the game.
We can ask Craig about that when he gets here in a little bit. But sticking with the positives, and I've seen some love already for Boko in the chat. Boko Imama made his NHL debut tonight. He was the 11th player making their NHL debut this season for the Coyotes, which they'd already set the franchise record with 10. So this was the 11th. And we'll also talk more about Boko when Craig gets here. But I mean, this was something that I know a lot of fans were really excited about. And he had he didn't have a ton of ice time tonight, but he made the most of his time. He had his solo lap, the rookie solo lap, which was funny. And they talked to him in the first intermission on Bally, and it was just really cool to hear. So for that reason, Boko Imama is tonight's Draftkings king of the game, his first NHL game, and he had 5 hits.
5 hits in 4 minutes of ice time.
Yeah, which is, that's more than one hit a minute. And if your role is to be a physical player, you can say that he brought that.
I thought he brought a good attitude. We heard his interview after the first intermission on Bally's. Positive attitude, worked hard. That's all you can ask for. I mean, if you would have told me at the beginning of the season that Boko Imama was going to play a game in the NHL this year, I probably would have said probably not. I'm really glad he got the opportunity. And you know what? With the injuries they have, he's going to play more. He's going to play again. Like, Beagle's not coming back yet, I don't think. We'll get updates from Craig on injuries. So I'd imagine he'd play again. The bigger question is, who the hell's playing down in Tucson? Like, who was on that team?
It's not really lost. So did you hear about this, that he was suspended in the AHL, but that doesn't prevent him. So Tucson was already missing him, I guess, technically.
I guess.
But yeah, when I picture the Tucson roster, I just see tumbleweeds.
Yeah, I do, because they're all here. So no, I'm happy for Boko, and we'll talk to Craig more about it, and he'll give us more of the personal side, and hopefully he's had a chance to talk to Boko too. So that's great.
Yeah, because Craig also, if you missed it, I think it was the weekend we went to Tucson, so it must have been a month or two ago. But Craig wrote a really good in-depth story about Boko and his upbringing and his journey to becoming a professional hockey player. So
it's really neat.
If you want to go back and read that and go PHNX.com, do, because it's a really, really good read, and it kind of paints the picture of him. And I think it's always really cool when you can paint the picture of people's personal journeys. It makes it a lot more special to see them play and what that means to them. So
I think that's what you do. That's why people get invested in their team and their sports. That's when you become a fan.
Yeah.
When you know the people and their stories.
Yeah.
That's always, we talked about this last time off the air, and we were talking about the Formula One show, the F1 show. Well, now, if you like the Formula One behind the scenes show, it's because you like the people. And if you like the people, you watch the sport. And I think that once you get invested in these people personally and you know their stories and what they're about, I think it makes you a little more attached to the team.
Totally.
I think so. When you hear Boko's story, you root for a guy like that.
Totally.
So I think it's exciting, and I hope we get to know. Let's make that one of our goals here at PHNX, to help people learn the Coyotes a little bit better over the summer. Let's do that, Leah.
Okay.
Let's do that. Let's get inside these Coyotes' heads.
Yes, we will really work on that. And Craig has been doing a good job of that for many years.
Absolutely.
And he really dives deep, which, by the way, did anybody read Craig's mailbag today? Because we read it tonight. Why did he? We'll have to ask him.
We'll save it. But if you haven't read his mailbag, maybe you should run to it before he gets off the elevator, because we have some questions.
It's just a lot about birds.
Yeah, we have some bird references we need to clear up.
So
he's already in the elevator, so we'll get to it soon.
He is?
I wonder what the odds he'll be here before you read
this. Did he text you?
Yes.
Did he text me?
Yes.
Oh.
What are the odds?
Well, anyway, if you want to read Craig's stories and more, and not just Craig's, but a ton of people are the amazing writers here at GoPHNX.com. Their Suns coverage, if you want to follow a really winning team right now. Gerald is out in New Orleans covering the Suns. Tons and tons and tons of great content over at GoPHNX.com. So become a member today. Sign up for the annual membership. Get a shirt when you do. And it's a good time to become a member. Get access to the members-only Discord. Weekly deals on merchandise for members as well. So good time to become a member. Sean, do we have that video ready or no?
Not quite yet.
Okay, not quite yet. We do have video of Boko that Craig sent us, so we're working on that. So stay tuned for that. But another thing from tonight, it was Phil Kessel's 1200th NHL game, and that's the two ends of the spectrum, right? Boko's first NHL game.
Look at you putting it all together.
And Phil Kessel.
I think you did this for a living.
His 1200th game.
It's amazing.
It's unbelievable. The achievement, amazing. And we talk about his Ironman streak all the time, but just to play, and Andrew Ladd, they did the 1000th game celebration tonight. So just a lot of Are we talking about Smith and McBain? It's just
just getting started. The dichotomy of the whole experience. Someone just getting started. As one career starts, the other one ends.
It's really interesting.
Moderately sad.
Why did you have to make it sad?
Because it is sad.
Oh man.
As the seasons turn.
All right. Are we ready for the video?
Yeah.
Okay. So we got some video that Craig sent us of Boko Imama post game. So let's go ahead and watch.
Can you talk about just what this moment meant for you?
For sure, it means everything. I think it's everyone's dream to play their first game in the NHL, and I'm just happy it happened tonight.
What were you trying to focus on out there? I don't know if you had nerves or if there was a game plan.
For sure, the nerves were there. I'm not gonna lie, but I was just trying to keep it simple and play my game, play physical, and yeah.
Did you have any family or friends watching tonight? Did they know about this one ahead of time?
No, I know all my friends at home are watching for sure. My family was trying to make it, but flight complications. So unfortunately, they missed the first one. But they'll be in town tomorrow, so I'll get a chance to at least hug my mom and all that.
Yeah, we talked about your journey here and all that you've tried to achieve. So I guess how did you feel out there? And now that you have this one behind you. What are your hopes moving forward?
Yeah, just to keep on, working on my game, growing my game, and I believe I could be a player in this league, and keep on contributing physically for my team, and just doing the right things.
Thanks, Boko.
Craig, right on it with the video. You're getting better with your hand, not shaking too much too.
It's the drugs that I take before I go into the interview.
Wait.
Just settle me down.
You went there, so I'm going to continue to go there. Okay. Yeah. So as the drugs you were taking prior to settling you down for your camera, were they the same drugs that you took prior to writing your mailbag lead and intro today? What the hell was that?
Craig, we have so many questions.
We were puzzled. And there was no transition. We were just like, here's some musings on Morning Doves.
It's kind of what I do with my mailbags from time to time, where I have this just offbeat lead to it before I get into the questions. And today was definitely offbeat. But the entire family had this experience with a Morning Dove. So we were all laughing about it. I was like, I'm going to write about this because we've talked about this too many times.
Well, it was.
So there you go.
That was great. We had the artwork, you had the picture to go along with it. It was. Nathan Rudo was joining in.
I know Rudo's in the chat. Can the Avs have a little therapy too?
Have they lost 2 in a row?
They
now?
did lose. God forbid they lost. Rudo, the
Coyotes 2 in a row.
We lost 9.
Yeah, we've lost 9. Buddy,
let us have this.
Yeah,
therapy,
let us have
please.
this, Rudo. Jesus. No, but I didn't mean to interrupt, Craig. I'm sorry. I went off on a little tangent on Morning Doves, as you did in your musing.
3 in a row.
3 in a row.
Wow.
That might be the only time they've lost 2 in a row.
Time for a
season.
rebuild for the Avs. I don't know. Strip it down.
That gave us a topic for our next show. Are the Avs in a rebuild?
Yeah. As long as Rudo's here, I mean, let's talk about the Vegas-Colorado first-round matchup that's coming.
Wow. What happens there? That gap gets closed. I tell you what, there is no margin for error for Vegas right now. Like none. Like they have to win the Dallas game in Dallas next week. They lose, they're out. They win, they're in. I mean, that game is quintessential. Not only is the Coyote game going to be important, and Dallas can't look past that thinking of Vegas. Vegas gets in. Vegas, Colorado. Good Lord. What a playoff
can you
series.
imagine that for first-round series? Anyway,
Unreal.
yeah.
Speaking of playoffs, did you see my shirt? Later. Did you see my shirt?
I do see it. They won tonight. People who are actually concerned that the Suns are going to lose this series, come on. It's the Pelicans. They're not a good team. The Suns are going to get past this. They'll be the stronger for it. This is not the series to worry about.
I will say, before we continue on playoff talk, Rudo did just say Avs in 5 over Vegas. We'll see.
I love how our pack therapy turned into Avalanche pack therapy, and pack therapy also for Suns fans who were anxious.
I know.
PHNX is just a place for all.
Oh, that's what we do here, man.
Yeah, it really is.
What are the odds of that, Leah?
So, Petey, you haven't had any of these experiences with Morning Doves, huh?
Taking it.
No, I don't want to do that now. I'm
Okay.
ignoring you. What, Craig?
Petey, you haven't had any of these experiences with morning doves that I've had?
I don't leave home.
Craig, I
don't-
have had to slow down my car. I've also
Thank you.
I've killed some morning
You
sundoves,
can't
but
say that. PETA will get on you.
tell them to get out of the road quicker.
First off, if PETA was coming at anybody, it'd be the Sun Devil Show.
Fair enough.
About animals.
Fair enough.
Craig's hatred for
All right.
is similar to my hatred for koala bears. So
Hey, what random is that?
I'm sorry, why? Can you please elaborate?
What time is it?
No.
I am not joking. I have a PowerPoint.
Craig's like, let's make it quick tonight. And Sean's like, I have a
Yeah, I'm not sure I want to go here tonight.
During the off season, I'll give my entire PowerPoint presentation on my
Wow. Wow. That's a
I just realized I was
Aggressive.
muted when I said all of that as well.
Oh, he was muted.
I hate
Yeah,
koala bears. I have a
I
PowerPoint
was
presentation. I'll
wondering
give it
about
later.
that. Okay, I was wondering about that sound quality, buddy.
Oh.
I thought my Boko video was pretty good tonight. Versus
It was.
what
I'm
you
very
did.
impressed, Craig. Very
What do you
impressed.
guys think of Boko? Listen, he only played like 404 tonight. He had 5 hits. That's why he was here, obviously. And I think if it hadn't been a 1-0 game, he might have gotten a little more ice time. But I don't know if you guys saw any takeaways at all
You
from
know,
Boko tonight.
the physical part of it is what do you expect from him? He skated better than I expected. I thought he kept up with the play. I know it was only 4 minutes, but it was, hey, it's your first game in the National Hockey League, and you didn't look out of place. So good for him. Good for him. I think that physical presence, if he can get a little more ice time, we'll see where he goes over this next 4 games. I hope he gets another opportunity to play.
Yeah, I think he will again tomorrow. I'm just happy for him with all that he's been through in his career. First of all, it's a battle just to get here, right? It's not easy in his situation to even make it to the NHL, but then to endure all the garbage that he's had to endure, it was just a feel-good moment for him to see him on the ice tonight.
Yeah, and Craig, you talk about hockey-wise, too. The difference, and we've talked about the speed from the American League to the National League is so much different. And you saw it when McBain and Nathan Smith joined from college. Their first game, they weren't lights out either. I mean, we were giving them kudos for just getting through the game without making major mistakes. And now you look at tonight's game, McBain, I think he was the best forward on the ice tonight. So it takes time. It's not going to just instantly miraculously happen. So as McBain and Nathan Smith have increased their play and played better over there last week, maybe Imama gets a chance to play again, and maybe we see more of what he really is. I mean, he's not going to get this team 3, 4, 5 goals down the stretch, but can he bring that physical presence, speed, energy to the game? Well, let's see if he can.
Yep. Speaking of feel-good moments, should we do our number 3 moment, counting down the top moments at Gila River Arena?
I think we should.
So there's only now 2 home games left. So this was the third to last. So our number 3 Coyotes moment at Gila River Arena is from February 24th, 2019. The Coyotes retire Shane Doan's number 19 jersey in Craig's word, an emotion-packed, perfectly executed ceremony. He's the first actual Coyotes player in the franchise's Arizona history to have his jersey retired, and he joins Jeremy Roenick, Keith Tkachuk, and Teppo Numminen in the Ring of Honor that also includes former Jets Bobby Hull, Dale Hawerchuk, Thomas Steen, and NHL-wide retired jersey of Wayne Gretzky and Leighton Accardo. PD and Craig, you guys were there. What do you remember about this one?
I remember it being emotion packed. That was a tough one to watch. I mean, he's meant so much to this. He continues to mean so much to this franchise. When you talk about the people most responsible for not only the growth of hockey, but the continued existence of hockey in Arizona, Shane Doan's on the short list. He's done so much for this franchise. He remained loyal to this franchise when he could have gone other places, played his entire career here. I hated the way they said goodbye to him. I didn't think it was classy. They should have handled it better. But in the end, they really got that retirement ceremony right, as the Coyotes always seem to do with these ceremonies. They really nail it when it comes to these things.
It was exceptional. And, Bally's host Todd Walsh was the MC of the evening. And what struck me, and from that, and we went through it, and it was quite a long ceremony. I mean, it's before a hockey game, and it was long. And what the moment for me that I thought really struck home and how important this was for hockey. The game was against the Winnipeg Jets, which is where Shane got his career start in the NHL. And the entire Winnipeg Jets team sat there and watched the entire presentation. Now, I've been involved with going on the road and they retire a jersey or a 1,000th game or they have those ceremonies and you wait in the locker room. You don't watch, you wait. The players wait in the locker room, then it's over and you go out. They were all out there, their whole entire coaching staff. And at that moment, you go, okay, this is a big deal. This isn't just a big deal for Arizona. This is a big deal for the NHL. And Gary Bettman was the first one to speak, again, driving home how important this was for the league. And I will say the speeches that were given that night were from his personal friends and teammates. Daniel Briere, Tyson Nash spoke. Poignant, funny, and really emotional. And you see what a humble person they personified him. He was a person. He's just a regular guy, and you got to see that part of Shane Doan too. Phenomenal, deserves everything you ever hear about Shane Doan, and you know some of those accolades. Oh, he's a good guy. They get thrown around. 100% true. He could not be a nicer human being. Would do anything, and when you say shirt off your back, literally he would. Like some of the hard times I've been through over the last 2 years, Shane Doan was there for me. I mean, he's the guy that picks up the phone and makes sure you're okay. I mean, so it was very meaningful to me that was part of this top 10 moments in Coyote history, and I'm really happy he was a part of it. And this organization and this city and this state is so lucky to have a person like Shane Doan.
Petey, you probably remember this, and I can't imagine doing this for anybody else in the organization, but I actually did a story series for The Athletic, 19 Days of Doan. I literally had 19 straight days of Shane Doan stories, and there were stories to tell. They were unbelievable stories. That's how many people he's touched. That's how much he's done for this hockey community.
Yep. It was a great moment, and you know what? I'm assuming the banner moves. Does the banner move?
It has to.
Does it move to ASU? Does it?
It ain't leaving it in Glendale, I can tell you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
You have to imagine.
Yeah, unless it's bolted down, it's on the moving truck.
And there'll be a Doan playing in that building next year too.
Would that be strange?
Really cool.
Interesting. Anyway, it was a great moment, and
that was very well said.
That much closer to the end.
2 games left
of an era. Just it's
unbelievable.
Amazing. Will there be tears, Craig? Will you have tears?
Tears of joy that he doesn't have to drive that far anymore.
Exactly. Could be.
Buddy, I'm going to get in my car and I'm not going to look back. I'm not even going to look at the rearview mirror.
Okay. Just checking. I'm not sure how I'm going to feel about it. I've been thinking I'm going to be a big old fan party fest here, but I'm not sure. Like there was a lot of time I spent in that building. So we'll see. Yeah. We'll see where we go from here.
We'll see. Well, Craig, we'll let you go so you can enjoy your Friday night only. I can't say this every time. Now you only have 3 more drives at night. Well, 3 including tonight.
3 because you got to get home tonight.
Yeah, from Gila River. So
I'll say 3.
Enjoy, and we'll chat with you tomorrow in tomorrow's post game.
All right, guys. See you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, Craig. All right. I know you were trying to cue me up for the draft.
I was. I'm sorry. I didn't know. I was trying to do it before Craig.
I was trying. Yeah, I didn't want to do it with Craig.
Like I turned into a pumpkin at 11 and we're almost there.
Okay, we'll wrap this up. We've obviously spent a lot of time talking about the Suns, and of course, the NBA playoffs are happening as we speak. Well, I think all the games are over tonight, but it's happening, and Draftkings wants to give you some money. Draftkings is the official sports betting partner of the NBA, and this week, new customers can bet $5 on any team to win and get $150 in free bets instantly. You win no matter what. Plus, each day of the first round, get a risk-free bet up to $10 if your same-game parlay doesn't hit. Bet the Suns. You heard Craig. He has faith. So continue to bet the Suns, and hopefully this series ends in 5 games. Again, that's code PHNX at the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Bet $5 on any NBA team to win their game during the first round of the playoffs. Get $150 in free bets instantly. That's promo code PHNX at DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. That's 21 and over, Arizona only. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. New customers only. Minimum $5 deposit. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for detail. And now we're going to bring in Sean for his DraftKings pick of the week. Sean, what do you have?
I, first off, did pretty well on my picks the last couple of days on bets, so I'm feeling good about my NBA picks. My pick of the week is going to be the Boston Celtics money line. It's at plus 135 against the Brooklyn Nets. I think the series is kind of a dogfight, and I don't know. I like the Celtics here. So I think they're going to win that. But for the record, I'm going to predict all of the games. I'm going Sixers money line, Mavericks money line, and Grizzlies money line as well. So
picks of the week.
Picks of the week. Maybe you want to parlay them together, improve your odds, especially considering the Grizzlies and Sixers are favorites. So Mavericks and Celtics are underdogs. So if you want to parlay all those together, maybe you can make some nice money.
Love that. Thank you, Sean. Sean has a good record on the show, everyone. I'm just saying.
Good on bets, but pretty good here.
Oh, what? Oh, no. I
thought you said that last time.
No, but he's been doing well this week.
The last couple of days, I've done pretty well on bets. My picks of the week on Sun Devils tend to go poorly.
But his picks of the weeks on this show go really well.
Really good.
And my NBA picks
here for sure
on bets have gone pretty well the last couple of days. So
I need all the help I can get right now.
Yeah, so there you go. Tail Sean on DraftKings.
Do it.
Download it now if you haven't
already. I was trying
already.
to do it right now.
Yeah. One thing we didn't talk about from tonight's game, and I know you have it teed up, Petey. It was Marvel Night.
It was Marvel Night. Why didn't if I would have thought of that on the way here, I would have dressed up.
What would you have dressed up
I don't know.
as?
Maybe Captain America. Maybe Spider-Man. I don't know.
Which Marvel character are we each? Like, which Marvel character are you?
Wow.
Who am I? Who is Sean? Who is Craig?
That's hard.
I don't know. That question
That is
just
hard.
popped.
It's a really good question.
We'll take some input.
That's a really good question. I mean, I'm not quite big enough, but I have a Hulk.
Well, I was gonna say because you get like really angry, and then you come back down to earth, and Bruce Banner is like a very kind, smart guy, and that would be you.
I think, and then I get off,
and then you get on your
not a violent
smash,
but yeah.
So
smash.
Craig is obviously Superman,
but that's not Marvel.
That's true.
Well, yeah. If it was all superheroes, Craig's for sure Clark Kent / Superman. But this is Marvel.
Petey, I like Hulk. Leah, I'm gonna say Captain Marvel.
From another land.
Yeah, fair. Another land, all powerful. Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know what I would be.
We'll take some input from the chat on this one, or if you're listening to this later, tweet at us at PHNX_Coyotes with who you think we'd each be Marvel characters.
That's a thing.
But I'd also like for people who are at the game tonight to send us their pictures of the Jacob Chikrin Thor.
We have one on hold for us.
We do?
We do.
From who?
A
favor? You called in a favor?
Yes, I called in a favor, and I couldn't get it before the show tonight. I wanted it on the desk, but we have one going up in the studio. We have
amazing.
One.
I'm not reading that comment.
We have one going up in the studio. So
good. Okay. Well, we'll have it in here. So we want to hear from you which Marvel characters each of us are.
Cool. Maybe I'll have it for tomorrow, but tomorrow's gonna be a different show. The whole power thing, and I don't know how that's all gonna work tomorrow.
Yeah, we need to wrap up the show or the power's gonna turn off in our building. By the way, before we started, there was like some jackhammering.
Who works 10 o'clock on a Friday night?
Like, what?
Well, to be fair, I think that's their exact thought. Who works at 10 o'clock on a Friday night? So let's do the construction.
So that's why they did it.
Little do they know we work at 10 o'clock on a Friday night.
We are here. So we'll be back tomorrow night for our post-game show. Yeah, I was going to talk about the bus.
Why not just let you do your job?
Yeah, what the heck?
I'll just shut the hell up. Sorry. I'm tired. Jesus. It's almost 11.
So you better not be tired next week because this time next week. So next week is 1 week from this moment. It's the last ever game at Gila River Arena. It's the last Coyotes game of the season, which while we're talking about it, let's just look at the punch card because you can visually see how close we are. Look at that. There's 4 games left.
That's insane.
There's 4.
I never thought we'd make it this far.
Cry.
Are we going to get another red circle?
No.
That's a lot of black circles in a row. That's a lot.
I know. It's bad. But we're going to be at that game, Petey.
Yes, we are.
And we are going to go there in style because PHNX is taking a party bus to Gila River Arena next Friday night. The bus is leaving from the Ainsworth downtown, so you don't have to make that horrible drive to Glendale. We will take you, and tickets on this bus, it's $125. You get a ticket to the game, round trip on the bus. You get free food and drinks before, after. You get drinks on the bus itself. And not only that, Petey has a lot of awesome stuff planned for on the bus. We might do a live Petey's Puck Talk, live
it depends on what on traffic is.
Do you
Like,
get car sick? Like
no, but
Oh.
it could be a long bus ride. We
True.
better come up with some stuff.
It's a schlep out there to Glendale.
So we better come up with some stuff. I think a live Petey's Puck Talk
And
is
also,
good.
we just talked about Shane Doan. Josh Doan's going to be on the bus. Meet and greet with Josh Doan. Shirts, autograph signings, giveaways. Like, there's just so much going on. You do not want to miss this. Don't miss out.
I like that.
But,
Somebody's really
love
clever.
that. Yeah. And if you already have plans to be in Glendale and you don't want to take the bus, we are doing a Josh Doan meet and greet at the Lola at 6:30 before the game. So join us there. Tickets for that are $40. You get a shirt, you get a meet and greet with Josh, you get a photo op, autographs, and we'll be there as well. So come hang out at the Lola before the game. That's going to be super fun. And Petey has been talking about some giveaways he's going to be giving
Can
away.
I show 'em?
Yeah.
Okay.
On the bus. And this is only if you're on the bus, okay?
Yeah, this is because because they said prizes, and I said, what kind of prizes? So I had stuff. I'll just do a couple. So this, and I know people will be extremely excited. This hat was a team issued hat from the last playoff series, from the 2020 playoffs. And can you see that? Not really. But it's got a Stanley Cup.
That's
it's got
cool.
the 2020 Stanley Cup logo on it. So that was cool. And then the really cool, like the first prize is going to be, and I'm going to hold this up to the camera really quick.
Can't really tell.
Can't focus, but it's a medallion from when the team went over to Latvia and Prague. And it's got the logos of Dynamo Riga and the Arizona Coyotes on it. Actually, at the time it was Phoenix Coyotes, with the date, comes in the little case, and we'll be giving that away on the bus. Oh, and then lastly, we're going to have a bunch of disinfectant wipes from the Stanley Cup playoffs in 2020 inside the bubble. And we're going to we're going to talk about maybe having a little slideshow about what it was like in the bubble for 27 straight days.
That's exclusive bus-only content.
Bus-only content.
So you want to be on the bus. So go over to the PHNX Locker now. Get your ticket before they run out. We cannot wait. And
yeah, I'm excited. You know what? Say what you want about Glendale and about the arena and all of the trials and tribulations that the team has had out there. There's been a lot of special moments. We've talked about them on this show. They've had the run to the Western Conference playoffs. All of those things fantastic. And they kept, if not for Glendale, this team would not be here right now. So we can joke about it and poke fun at it, but thank goodness Glendale was there and welcomed this team with open arms. And it's going to be sad to see the team leave. And I hope this opens the next chapter for whatever happens next for the Arizona Coyotes. So I'm excited about it. I'm sad to see the building go. I have a lot of personal memories there. And I hope we have a really good time on that Friday night. Win, lose, or draw.
Yep.
I'm going to have a good time.
No such thing in the NHL, but
I know. Can't
win or
tie.
lose, we'll see. Everybody, thank you so much for joining us on a Friday night. We'll be back tomorrow night for a post-game show after the St. Louis game, so be sure to subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel so you don't miss that. Follow us on Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes, as well as follow and like and subscribe and leave us a review wherever you get your podcasts. That's super helpful to us as well. We'll see everybody tomorrow night. Enjoy the rest of your Friday night, and we'll see everyone tomorrow.